Before the video begins, I forgot to mention that the reason this took forever to come out is because I had a community guideline strike for hate speech, so that kind of, delayed the video, but don't worry, the next ones are gonna come out like if nothing happens, so let's get into the video. Alright, it's part 3, so you know the deal. Watch until the end so we can see who gets which awards. Let's get into it. The first video is by Brickmark. We're beginning this video very straight with this banger of a brick film. This is definitely one of the most unique ideas I've seen in a brick film. Even if there's a chance a specific idea has been done in LEGO before, I doubt it was done this well. All the jokes landed, the Victorious joke came out of nowhere, but it still sat well with me. I do suggest fixing up Mysterio's voice though. His audio specifically was very low quality, making it harder to understand. I like that you used the yellow light when Mysterio used his powers. It wasn't needed, but it added on. All the small touches in this video were done so well. Mr. Krabs' T-posing succeeded from being an outdated meme into something that was genuinely funny. You could have, however, put more time into the animation of Spider-Man moving. It appeared pretty choppy. Because of this gets an 8 out of 10. Alright, the next video is by Mark Lakes, and it's a video that does the purge. Let's begin with the lighting. The lighting itself was kind of boring, but there weren't high standards that I planned on giving this video. Making the Legos do a flip in live action was funny, and I didn't expect that. This video is actually funnier because of all the voices everyone has. Hearing the voice say, "Every single day you'll be followed," as Star Wars music plays in a child's voice is hilarious. Also, the set design was done well. The purple hat guy was the best part of the video. Having the most childish voice for such a menacing threat is the best combo I've seen in all of the review videos I've made. This was a super well done video as a whole. Not much I would want to change other than the stuff I mentioned, so I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. So far we've had 2 great videos back to back.
Where are you?
Next up is a video by Random Person. I would begin with suggesting to get a stronger source of light to light up the video better. The camera flickers, and that might be because it has autofocus on. When I film, it is better to have it on manual so you can control more of what's going on in the camera. When the toy car went away, you can still see it when you froze the image. The remote going berserk was done for comedic purposes, and it was actually funny, so I'll let it slide. Again, not having audio for your videos really does lower your points. There's not much else I can say since this video is only 15 seconds long, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I might have to stop planning my LEGO Batman series because someone has already taken my place. THB Studios went above and beyond with this episode of a series, Wings of Vengeance. I know how hard it is to film stop motion with rain, so all that effort that was put into the shots takes the cake. A lot of people just film with lights to make it look good, but you made it add on to the video. So I really like all the effort you put into this video. Framing when the fights happened were on point, but when they weren't exactly happening, they did feel at times a bit more amateur. This was mainly when the camera seemed very zoomed in. I always mention this in other videos, but I totally recommend buying some sort of macro lens for the device filming. It helps get closer to the figures without losing the quality of zooming in. The animation movements by themselves were done beautifully, especially in the fight scene. There's no way I can give this anything else but a 9.5 out of 10. The next video is another one by Ulysses and Esteban. This is a huge improvement from the last 2 brick films they sent to be reviewed. Every time they come back, they do better and better. The set design was amazing. All that for a short that's less than 7 seconds long. The masking for the basketball was so seamless that it seemed like you guys perfected it already. The dunking animation was great, and unlike the other times you guys used memes for your video, this time it ended up not being cringe and ended up adding points. If I had to be nitpicky, I would say to make the basketball bouncing animation more with the easing in and out thing. Every review I have to mention how the rating system works. Depending on what you're doing and how well you pulled it off, that's how you get your rating. If you're trying to make a whole LEGO movie and it's just meh, it's like a 5 out of 10. But if you make a super short, quick video, but it ends up being perfect, that's a 10 out of 10. This is a very short video, but it was done magnificently, so I have to give this a 10 out of 10. There's nothing that can genuinely be changed for the better. Right ahead is another video by Corm Studios. You can really tell the digital noise on the camera for this one. I've noticed it before, we can try buying a macro lens off Amazon. Shout out to Pro Boat Animations for hearing me out and actually getting one. He's been making brick films for a good while and you guys should check him out. Anyways, back to the review. The Yoda voice was nice, but you forgot to make him speak in his mannerisms. Instead of saying "you shall not pass," you should have said something like "not pass, you shall." The cape arriving was actually pretty cool, but just for that alone, I'll be adding points. This also goes for the staff coming through. The motion blur was done super nicely. The lightsaber effects were also really cool, and it's like a better version of what you did in the Ninjago video from the last review. What needed the most improvement was for sure the audio. Having background music in the video would have helped elevate the scene, along with the better sound effects. The metal pipe sound is so overused, so it really takes me out of the experience. Also, a more impactful ending would have made the fight more worth it. It's for comedic effect, I guess, but it could have been pulled off better. Overall, this video is a 6.5 out of 10. The fate of this video really ended up on its delivery.
Room, it's time to work out.
There's a contrast on what needs to be improved and what's already perfect in this video by Surge Productions. When the camera moves like it's handheld, it looks chopped and needs to be fixed to look more natural. However, the magnifying lens used, it was one of the most creative things I've seen in a video, maybe all year. I also love how you used the bricks to make the Lego figures look all chunky and large. The set design was alright, but there wasn't much focus on it, so it doesn't really actually matter that much. It was a simple premise, but it was executed very well. I suggest using music that fits the tone more. The music made it feel like a gaming video from 2015. The magnifying glass was what carried this video along with the figure builds. I love what was done with it.
Tape around his body.
I don't know how to pronounce his name, Anthir the animator, but wow, you guys need to subscribe to this dude. These muzzle flashes were totally awesome. I might stop using Photoshop flashes and figure out how to do these instead. One thing that should be changed is the focus of the camera. It goes blurry at times, but it was fine before, so just check it before you take the frames. It's only 9 seconds long, so I'll quickly review it as a 9 out of 10. It was almost a perfect short video. The next video is by Brick Studios. This video could have been better if you embraced the title saying you're fighting a stranger. You could have some skip prior to the fight where the stranger is confronted right before like everything happened. Fights are always better with some build up. The animation was nice, but having a higher frame rate would have helped this out. I like how you drew the impact and blood on the stranger. There was an unnecessary shot that served no purpose, which was when the camera was panning away from everything. This was a short one, but I'll give it a quick 7 out of 10. We have another short one, and this time is by Brickfilms. The large amount of shots in this brick film need some adjustments, like a lot of these are out of focus. The one where Lloyd says it wasn't an element, the camera shot just didn't add anything, and it wasn't really focusing on anything either, like his face or his body entirely. It needed to choose something to focus on. It also didn't help that it was also like physically out of focus. The large amount of shots right after are also out of focus. I also don't understand what's the point of having the camera on the back as Lloyd lists the elements. It doesn't add much either. The only strong shot that doesn't suffer from anything is the one where Wu grabs onto his beard. That and the beginning. Even then, the shot was a quarter of a second. I have no choice but to give this video a 3 out of 10. I checked your other videos and you've done far better before this and after. But I have to be real with you. You have to be checking what you're filming to keep it consistent.
Cruel man awaits.
Alright, it's time to give out the awards. The brick film that wins for objectively the best is THB Studios with Under the Red Hood. It didn't get a perfect 10 out of 10, but it tried the best out of them all, and you can really see it along the entire video. The brick film that wins for personal favorite is Mark Lake's The Purge. It was the most fun watching out of all the videos. Most of it was probably because of the voice acting, but it doesn't mean everything else didn't have the same excellence. The last award goes for the highest rating, and that one has to go to Ulysses and Esteban with Lego Dunk. Their 10 out of 10 means exactly what it looks like. If you want to be on the next one, or you didn't see your video on this one, you will be added to the next part. The form to submit your brick films will be in the description. The rules are that it can't be an unfinished video. Every channel gets one video, and it doesn't matter if the video is new or old. Anyways, like and subscribe, and see you guys next time.